Hi, this is Jim with JP Reacts, where you come to see reactions and analysis of what politicians say so you can get that translated and have better conversations both online and in person. Today we're going to be going over Vice President-elect Kamala Harris and her speech right after the election was called for her and President-elect Joe Biden. So let's see where that goes after this. Okay, so let's see. We'll jump right into this speech, and she started off talking a little bit about the history of the moment. Let's listen.
So, Congressman John Lewis, before his passing, wrote, "Democracy is not a state; it is an act." And what he meant was that America's democracy is not guaranteed. It is only as strong as our willingness to fight for it. To guard it and never take it for granted. And protecting our democracy takes struggle, it takes sacrifice, but there is joy in it, and there is progress. Because we, the people, have the power to build a better future. Okay, so she was first talking about the legacy of John Lewis, who passed away earlier this year. It's a big moment. There's a lot of people that went through it, and it was more about protecting democracy and moving the country forward together. It was really big of a coalition coming together to really drive the country forward and help the country move on from the last 4 years. And that's basically what she was talking about. Let's see what the next part of this video is all about. And the generosity of your spirit. For 4 years, you marched and organized for equality and justice, for our lives and for our planet. And then you voted.
Okay, this part of the video was really speaking out to the people that have been marching for the 4 years that President Trump has been in office. She's referring to the Women's March, racial marches, the marches basically almost every week, it feels like, since he's been in office. And how that, not only did they march, but they went to the polls and voted. Because marching is one way to bring attention to issues, but things never really change unless you go and actually vote. Which she praised the group of people that were marching for actually doing this time and voting to help their cause move forward. So that's basically what she was referring to in that part of the statement. So let's see what the next part of her speech was all about.
And you delivered a clear message. You chose hope and unity, decency, science, and yes, truth.
Okay, so what she was referring to here is about what the election was about and what we were choosing. And she really honed in on it being about decency, science, and truth. There's been a lot of talk in the news and on the media about we are living now in a post-truth society. Hopefully that's not true. That's why I'm doing these videos, to help provide some more facts and knowledge, so it's not all about opinions. And I'm hoping that with this election we have put aside the say whatever you want, regardless if it's true or not, nature of politics, and we can move more on shared vision on the actual facts of what's going on the ground. So hopefully she's right about that, and we are not in a post-truth society. So let's check out the next part of this speech.
I'm thinking about her and about the generations of women, Black women, Asian, white, Latina, Native American women who throughout our nation's history
have paved the way for this moment tonight. Women who fought and sacrificed so much for equality and liberty and justice for all, including the Black women who are too often overlooked, but so often prove they are the backbone of our democracy.
Okay, so this part of her speech is really talking about how women delivered, and she's right. Women came out and voted, and really stood out not only in the marches but being out front and center this entire presidency and then voting. She specifically highlighted African American or Black women. They always seem to come through for the United States and deliver what is needed. They are a very overlooked population, and they are almost always right when it comes to who should be elected. So we should definitely listen to Black women more, for sure, when it comes to elections and politics. Let's check out what the next part of her speech was all about.
Their shoulders. And what a testament it is to Joe's character that he had the audacity to break one of the most substantial barriers that exists in our country and select a woman as his vice president.
Next part of her speech was about her breaking the glass ceiling and becoming the first woman vice president. This is a big deal. We've never had a woman in vice president or president of this country. We came really close in 2016 to electing the first woman president, but Vice President-elect Harris is the first vice president that is also a woman. And she is breaking barriers and just shows how far we've come and what a great coalition that has been built to move the country forward, that her being a woman wasn't an issue in this campaign whatsoever, at least publicly. So let's see what, I want to talk about one more part of her speech, and let's see what this last part's all about.
The necessary work, the good work, the essential work to save lives and beat this epidemic, to rebuild our economy so it works for working people, to root out systemic racism in our justice system and society, to combat the climate crisis, to unite our country and heal the soul of our nation.
Okay, so in this part of her speech, she's really talking about what the plans are for her and President-elect Biden, really focused on controlling the virus. Nothing can happen until we get that under control. And again, if you're watching this, until we get a vaccine, the 3 things you can do: wash your hands consistently, keep 6 feet of physical distance between you and others, and when you're in public, wear a mask. That really will it won't totally eliminate the virus, but it will lessen the risk of you accidentally transmitting or getting infected by the virus. As of right now, we are currently breaking records every single day, it feels like, of new cases and higher deaths. I know I live in Illinois, and we are increasing our mitigation efforts, or becoming closer and closer to the lockdown that we had in the spring, so we want to move away from that. She said next on the agenda is the economy, getting it restarted. A lot of people, small businesses, people laid off, have been hurt by this virus, and we need some sort of stimulus to move the country forward. Racial equality and hoping to eliminate or mitigate the racism that's alive and well in this country is also big on the agenda. President-elect Biden also mentioned this during his speech, so it's really important to both Vice President-elect and President-elect to really tackle this and try to move the country forward to limiting systematic racism and institutional racism in this country. Climate, again, it's going to be the key for probably the next few presidents to get it under control. We need to find a way to reduce our greenhouse emissions and hopefully lower the temperature of the planet. It may not affect any individual person uniquely, but as a whole, a lot of people are going to be losing billions and billions of dollars, and people are already being displaced and having to move because of climate change and their homes being destroyed. And then the last thing she mentioned was about uniting the country. Country has been divided politically for a really long time, but it seems to be even worse these last 4 years. So the goal of the administration is to bring the country together, to try to work together to move the country forward, is what they want to do. They want to, it's an election, they're going to be working for the people that voted for him and also the people that didn't vote for him, because they are going to be president and vice president of the United States, not of the Democratic Party. So that wraps up this video. Vice President-elect Harris' speech was a little bit shorter, but she did cover a lot of big topics. Hopefully you learned a lot from what she mentioned and what my description and explanation of some of the topics were. If you did, please like this video. If you didn't find that you learned anything or thought I totally screwed it up, dislike the video and tell me in the comments what I screwed up or what you liked about the video and what you didn't like about the video. Either way, I hope you subscribe to this channel so you can see the next video that comes up. And until I see you again, have a great day.